Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, shoot.
April failed at the cheers here. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Ding! Welcome to another episode of the Drunken Sisters. I'm your host, April.
And I'm Michelle.
We have Robert here with us again.
Senor Robert.
Ho, ho, ho!
He's a little shy tonight. He doesn't want to say anything.
He's mentioned that he would prefer if we would just call him Robert, that we don't have to call him by his formal name, Senor Robert. But I told him that was ridiculous.
Well, naturally, if he wants us to call him just Robert, we're going to have to stick with Senor Robert.
Definitely.
Right?
No, not really.
Yeah,
it's like when you make fun of someone and then they react.
Yeah.
You gotta stick with it.
Right. I think that's elementary mentality, though.
Is it?
I probably should step away from it.
Oh. But I love elementary.
Just elementary?
Just elementary.
Like school? Was it recess or lunch?
I'm getting so much echo.
Are you?
Echo!
How about your volume? You could adjust it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, did you see on Facebook today they had a little video about, I guess someone had taken dogs and they recreated the opening for Friends.
No,
But they call it
That.
Puppies.
Oh,
You have to see it. It's so cute.
I love puppies.
Yes.
Except for when they bark.
Which is all the time.
It is all the time.
So I hear you're going on an adventure.
I am going on an adventure.
Tell us what you're doing.
I've got several adventures coming up suddenly, which I think is ironic because just a week or two ago I was saying I had no summer adventures and I was sad.
You put it out into the universe and now it has reciprocated.
I
Not
did.
reciprocated.
Responded.
Responded.
Thank you, podcast.
Yes, podcast.
So I'm going glamping this week. It's very exciting. For you listeners who don't know what glamping is, it is a combination of glamorous and camping. So you get glamping.
So what part of glamping is actually camping?
You are outdoors in a yurt.
In a yurt?
Yeah.
You're gonna be in a yurt?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, in a yurt.
Those
that
are
has
those
electricity.
igloo type things, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I'm pretty excited about it.
I guess it's not glamping as much as I thought.
It
I was
has
thinking like a
private
resort.
beach access. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Nice.
So it has electricity.
Electricity, a TV, a
Running
bed.
water?
Running water.
Well, you're not camping at all.
That's not even glamping.
You're
That's
going
just
on
like,
a vacation.
You're going to a beach house.
It is a little beach house.
You're going on a vacation to a funny hotel.
I do love the funny hotels. Yep.
We have a lot of activity going on to our left. No one's driving by yet, but what do you say we cheers
I
anyway?
think we should cheers to that.
All right.
Maybe another.
Oh, here's a drive-by.
Here's a drive-by.
Da 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 da.
Ding.
What are you having tonight?
Tonight I am drinking Crown and Coke.
Wow, I'm having the exact same thing. What a coincidence.
I know. What happened? I thought we were gonna have Tom Collins. I forgot.
I forgot to.
Shoot.
Poor Tom. We always forget him.
I know, Mr. Collins. I'm sorry.
If only it was Phil Collins.
So recently,
Yes.
there is a girl drinking at my house, and I made Tom Collins, and she got a little drunk, and she didn't know who Charles Manson was. She never had a Tom Collins.
I hope you kicked her out after she said she didn't know who Charles Manson was.
We were playing apples to apples, and she got the Charles Manson card. Had no idea who he was. And then when she finished her Tom Collins, she asked me if she could have another Phil Collins.
No.
Was this the person who also didn't know how to play apples to apples?
It was the one that had a little bit of a struggle playing the apples to apples.
Which would seem to be natural since she didn't know who Charles Manson was,
Yeah,
right?
what
she
I'm
is
saying.
young, but
Yeah, but
No
apples to
excuse.
apples is a fairly simple game. Actually, it's incredibly simple.
you're going to have to come in closer. I don't think my mic is picking you up as much as I'd like it to.
Senor Roberts in Mexico.
Come a little closer. Oh, this is awkward.
Senor Robert is now in April's personal space, and she seems to be
I'm getting
tensing up.
a lap dance.
What? Listeners, I'm missing out on this because I see no lap dancing happening.
That's how Robert dances. He does it.
It's
I
more of
see
a
it.
mental lap dance.
A mental lap dance.
He thought about it.
Right.
I picked up on that thought.
I see.
You see.
I see.
You see it now.
Okay. What?
So Saul, what's going on in your world?
Well, unfortunately, I have no plans to go glamping in a yurt, and so I'll be home.
Oh. Well, we'll have new things to talk about.
We will. Once
if
you
it's
come back.
awesome, we could go glamping together.
Sure. We do have a beach day coming up.
We do.
Listeners,
It's a beach day.
listen to this nonsense. April, I ask if she wants to go to the beach, and she says sure. She pulls out her calendar from her bag of tricks,
Hey.
opens it up, and asks me how 2016 looks.
Well, it's a busy, busy summer.
I mean, seriously, how do you find time to do anything with everything that you actually have to do? Like, where does the fun stuff come in?
Did you actually say 2016?
I did say 2016. And then I said 8/14, which is next month.
Yes, next month. So August 14th we'll be at the beach, hopefully, because I've noticed that everything written in the calendar was in pen, or
Yes.
like a marker pen. But our beach day was written in pencil.
Ooh.
So I'm not sure if
I
that's
didn't
like...
have a pen.
Well, which more important thing?
Oh, we have walk-bys. Do. Cheers. Cheers to you, walkers. You keep on walking. Keep on walking in the free world.
I think that whiskey's getting to April's brain already.
Hopefully I won't spill it all over the porch tonight.
Hopefully not, yeah.
Hey, listeners, we're going to be having a Drunken Sisters photo shoot coming up in a couple weekends. I think we should invite our listeners to be in our photo shoot.
That would be great to have them surrounding us.
Yeah.
All right, listeners, tweet us if you're interested at drunken_sisters. I will private message you the location.
We have a professional photographer and a makeup artist working for us.
Yes, now the only thing we have to do is come up with our costumes.
Yeah, we're going to have to hit the thrift store.
Of course. Oh, I'm so excited.
What did Aunt Robin used to call the thrift store? Macy's?
What? She used to call the thrift store Macy's?
Yeah, she would call it like the vintage Macy's or something like that because she would not admit that she was going to the thrift store.
I love the thrift stores.
I do too. I think it's awesome.
You
And
get
now
some
it's
great
kind of
things.
trendy.
Yeah.
What theme do you guys have in mind? What are you guys looking for at thrift stores?
No, we can't tell you. It would give it away.
It's going to be a surprise.
Oh, is that what
But
it is?
listeners, you want to participate in this.
Be prepared. Robert, do you want to participate?
Sure.
Full makeup.
Already done. I'm wearing it right now.
I thought you looked a little flush tonight.
No.
Little eyeshadow.
He added the rouge.
Trying to look my best for the podcast.
The lip
so,
gloss.
You know, with the video camera.
Hey, that's what we should do one day. We should bring the GoPro out and film us.
We should. That would be fun. Then we can have a YouTube channel. I like it.
Everybody would be exposed to what we're doing.
Exposed.
Yeah.
Here we have a very special. Not that you're not special, Senor Robert.
Da 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 da.
Cheers! Drive by. Besides our very special guest, Senor Robert, who likes to join us, here we have another official guest joining us. And you want to tell us about him?
Sure. So, one of my old coworkers / friends, he participates in a program called Ghost Bikes. And what they do is, there's a lot of cyclists out around in LA, and when an unfortunate event happens where somebody dies while they're riding the bike, he is responsible for going out. He gets donations and stuff. He puts together a bicycle, paints it completely white, and then puts it at the scene as like a memorial.
That's fantastic.
It is.
I'm excited to meet this guy.
I'm really excited too. He's had a couple of news articles written about him, interviews and stuff. So getting him on the show is going to be a lot of fun.
That's exciting.
Maybe we can volunteer.
Next week?
Next week.
Nice.
So next week our topics are post-glamping and ghost bikes.
Cheers!
Cheers! Drive by!
Walk by!
Walk by! Cheers to you, Walker!
I think he has a Ninja Turtle backpack.
I think he does. He's wearing a ninja shell. Heroes in a half shell.
I wonder if there's a pizza in that shell.
Turtle power.
You know they eat pizza?
Yeah. A lot of pizza.
Interesting.
They also eat out of the trash, though.
Trash
Drive
pizza.
by!
That's the part of the cartoon they don't show you. When they're eating out of the trash.
Do.
That's like a delay reaction, huh?
The trash eating? Oh, we've got more walk-bys! With a baby.
Walk
we
by
cheers
with
to
the
the
baby.
They gotta do
It'll have a drink at some point in their life. Cheers.
Cheers. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking scotch.
Scotch. That's like an old man
Scotch.
drink.
Tullamore scotch.
Well, Senor Robert likes old man drinks.
Is scotch an old man drink?
Kind of.
Did you
For
have to look
sure.
at it like that? Likes the old man drink.
Yeah, I mean, you have it like, a little bit at the bottom of the
Well, I
small
don't pour
glass.
scotch like you do, but I just, pour the normal amount.
I
Scotch
don't
on
pour
the rocks.
scotch. Yeah, so one time I told Robert I would refill his glass with scotch, and I didn't know that you're only supposed to fill the very, small portion of it into the glass.
Did you fill him
shots.
a full glass?
I filled it all the way up.
She filled me the entire glass of scotch.
How was I supposed to know how to drink scotch?
Obviously.
He was pretty drunk after.
No.
No.
It's a whole glass of scotch from you.
What is 8-ounce glasses? 12-ounce glasses?
Right.
Alright, I'll give this a whirl. Give it a swirl. A little sniff. Ooh, don't sniff it.
Okay, now you kind of drink like an old man. Just drink
Hey,
it.
listeners, while April's trying the scotch, I encourage you to go onto YouTube and to look for Gordon
Static.
Ramsay Talks Dirty.
Oh, yes.
Best video you will ever see on YouTube.
You're welcome.
Someone's calling us.
It's Dad.
Should we have him as a guest?
I'm sorry, Dad, but I'm going to have to call you back.
You don't want to pick him up?
No.
He
I don't
did
know,
say
he
he
kind
wants
of-
to be a guest.
Well, he could be a guest.
He does add some unpredictability.
He
Might as
definitely
well.
does.
Some.
We might have to
A lot of
censor.
it.
Censors. Alright.
What do you guys think about the censoring out there in, like, radio and stuff, TV?
I'm on the fence about it because I am all for free speech, and yet I know that can be taken to an extreme, and I also believe that kids should not be exposed to certain things.
Yeah.
And then there comes in the argument, well, keep your kids away from it, but it's near impossible to keep your kids away from everything.
Yeah.
Internet,
But that's also
computer, television.
I mean,
also
we
for free speech. Then, if you can't keep your kids away from everything, I mean, why should you limit what they see or hear? I mean, if you can't try
Because
to.
you can't. You either have to let it all be free or none of it be free. You can't really say some things are okay and some things aren't.
That's what
Especially
I'm
with the
saying.
internet, you can look up anything you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so it should all be free then, because kids have exposure to it anyway. Might as well limit what they expose yourself instead of choosing someone else to do.
Well, I feel like sometimes, especially now with social media and YouTube and all those platforms, our children are getting maybe a shorter amount of time in childhood.
Definitely.
Because they are exposed to things that are much more mature than
Agreed.
what we grew up listening to or hearing or anything on the radio and stuff.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it has to do with the proliferation of cell phones. Everyone has a cell phone now, and you could reach whatever
Which
you want
has internet access.
from
Yeah.
anywhere in the world.
You know what we need to solve this problem? We need to go back to the flip phone.
The flip phone,
There's a point there.
where
can
you only
text
had
on
the
those.
web browser instead of the internet.
Either that or the web browser was so slow, there was no point to it anyway, so you just gave up on it after like half an hour of it loading a page.
That's
Yeah, it was
true.
pretty bad. And then it would charge you for those minutes used on the internet.
Oh my.
Right? It was minutes, right?
Either that or we'll bring back pages and just give kids pages. Can't get in
Pages
trouble
that they
way.
could. Oh, pagers.
Yeah,
Beepers.
beepers.
Oh, I thought I was so cool with my beeper.
Me too. Until I saw it about 10 years later.
Right.
Recently, we don't use names on the show to
Right.
protect people, but someone's has 2 sons, and she found him looking on his phone because he's got a little iPhone.
He has an iPhone? How old is the kid?
He's 8.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is a little ridiculous.
Anyway.
On YouTube, typing in sexy girls dancing.
See, when you were 8 years old, did the thought of the other gender, whoever you were attracted to, was that even a thought to look up things like that?
Well, there's no way to look
Yeah,
things
there was
up.
I mean, we had
to
the
look it up.
encyclopedia, and you certainly weren't
I was
looking up.
looking up. Ken and Barbie used to sleep in
Really?
the same bed.
So maybe it's not very different, just in a different way.
It's just more realistic,
And more accessibility. Easier
and it can
accessibility.
get dirty fast.
I see.
Type in the wrong thing.
Mm.
They caught him in time. before
We
he started
had
clicking
this,
on videos.
When I worked at the t-shirt place, we had this one website that we would go to, and it was whatever the company was .org, and it was their hats and t-shirts and all these promotional items and stuff. But if it was the name of the company .com, it was a porn site. So we would tell our customers like, oh yeah, we use this brand. And we would give them the magazine to look through and see, and they would take it with them. And sometimes we would get them calling us like, "What is the website? We typed in, companyname.com, and it's not coming up." And then that was always a joke in the office. I was looking at porn.
Actually, stuff like that used to happen. I used to work for a company like 8 or 9 years ago where our toll-free number was an 888 number, but it turns out the 866 or another variety of it was a sex chat line.
Did you run that one?
No. We ran the legitimate one.
Robert, please
we gotta walk by.
Da 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 da.
Cheers!
Robert, please share with us the story about how you were online looking for shoe covers.
Shoe covers. That's a great story. So in our industry, shoe covers are referred to as booties. Like they're called booties because they cover your shoe, like small boots essentially. So I talked to a customer where they're buying from now, and they said it's booties.com.
Phone down.
And I didn't think that booties.com was anything because I'm at work. So I type it in, and it is not exactly what I thought it was. It has nothing to do with shoe covers if you go to Booties.
Now the question is, how long did it take you to close down that window before you typed in the right thing?
Oh, I started laughing, and then my boss saw it, and then he asked, "What am I doing?" I told him I typed in booties.com. And then he's like, "So how come I came to there?" And it took him like about a few seconds to realize it too, because it's such a word we use all the time. We didn't think of the other term for it.
Booties!
That is so funny.
Booty, booty, booty.
Yeah, so our human resources person comes in, and me and my boss are laughing with this booties.com up.
Oh, man.
And we had to explain the whole thing all over again.
Is a human resource person a woman?
Yes, it is.
Of course it is.
I bet that was fun.
It was not. It was awkward.
Are you still employed?
Yes.
Did they try to fire you and the boss?
No. Although he did ask what that site was again, like a week later.
No.
Yeah, he's like, "What was that site again?" Like booties.com.
Oh, God, that's a dead giveaway.
Is this Fruit Boots?
This is Fruit Boots.
One of my old jobs, we used to get the Victoria's Secret magazine would come in the mail. And my boss would take it with him to the restroom.
Oh my.
And he would be in there for a pretty long amount of time. He would come out, and then he would put it on my desk.
Oh!
And then I would just stare at him like, "Are you
Did you promptly
kidding
burn it?
me?"
It's probably covered in sperm and feces particles.
No, the first time I was like, "Oh, I don't want this," and then he was looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" Like he wasn't getting it.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty.
Did you try to throw it away and the pages were stuck together?
No, I didn't touch the thing. I refused to touch the thing.
Did you have to burn your cubicle down and move cubicles?
I should have.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Have another smoke
Sure, I'll have another smoke.
of yours.
All right. So, listeners, tell us what you think about booties.com. Wait, no.
No.
Tell us
No.
what you think about censorship.
Yeah, tell us what you think about censorship and whether or not it should exist. Maybe in the workplace.
Do you have a funny story? Maybe there are just certain areas in the workplace it should absolutely exist.
Well, I just meant because Robert was looking at booties.com and there was no blockage or anything.
He goes there on his break every day.
Robert,
Apparently
why do you spend your lunch at your desk?
Booties.com.
Booties.com. Just checking out the competition.
The competition?
What?
I bit my lip.
Oh no! Stop bit her lip. Tell us about a time you bit your lip.
No, don't tell us about that.
Could be good.
It might be.
We gotta give our listeners some prompts to respond to. Better.
We do. Yeah, we're kind of dead tonight.
Are we dead?
I feel like it. Hey, there was an article I read, and again, a lot of the articles I read are on Facebook, so I don't know how seriously you want to take them, but they were showing pictures of, I forgot what ancient civilization, of the mummies there, and the faces, the distorted faces that the mummies would be preserved in. They were saying they're some of the most terrifying mummies because it seems as if they were buried alive.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was really creepy.
That's so disturbing.
It was.
That was a common problem way back in the day. Oh, I did actually. I wanted to give an alcohol fact.
Yes.
Since we're the Drunken Sisters, I was thinking that we should talk about alcohol sometime.
I guess.
So I recently discovered that you could snort vodka. And
why would you want to snort vodka?
Well, there's a whole history behind it.
All right, tell me.
Okay, so when you snort the vodka, so if you drink the vodka, let's say you just shoot it, it's got to go through your stomach, it's got to get broken down, and then it seeps into your bloodstream.
Okay.
And that's when you feel drunk. If you snort the vodka, it goes straight into your sinus cavity and right into your bloodstream. So snorting a half shot of vodka is equivalent to drinking a fifth of vodka.
Really?
Yeah, and it's very dangerous. Listeners, please do not try or do this.
Did they do this during Prohibition?
No, they did this. It started in Russia.
Those crazy Russians.
Yeah, because they would drink so much, and then the Depression hit Russia, and people couldn't afford to buy vodka anymore. So what they would do is they would take a wine glass and flip it over, and then the base of it would have a little divot, and they would fill that with the vodka, and then snort it to get incredibly drunk.
Wow.
And on that, we have a drive-by.
Da 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 da. You're drinking out of a plastic glass tonight,
I'm sorry,
and it's just not making the right sound.
Is that what's wrong tonight? I think it's because we haven't had enough drive-bys.
Well, you can drink without having a drive-by, you know that.
Oh, that's true.
This is the purpose of the podcast.
I'm missing my 40 tonight.
Listeners.
It was a tall boy, not a 40.
It was not a 40 as I suspected.
It was a 22-ounce Corona in a can. We have a child driving by on a...
On a what? On a scooter?
On one of those little tiny Jeep things? I'm not quite sure what's happening.
Cheers!
But we're gonna cheers to it! Da-da-da-da-da-da! Cheers to the children driving by on weird...
Children, don't drink and ride the scooter.
He's hauling something on top of it. That's one way to get kids to work.
Did you ever have one of those motorized cars, like those Barbie Jeeps?
I always wanted one. Mom and Dad said no, they're too expensive, and that I wouldn't take care of it.
I wanted one too.
Why are you asking her? Wouldn't you know she had one?
No, because before I was born, April was spoiled as all hell. In fact, there is one picture, I think she turned 4, where she is standing in front of a mound of presents. I mean, way above her head, without exaggeration, huge swarm of gifts behind her, and apparently that was the last time all of those gifts were given to her.
Oh, our listener Will is here.
Yay, Will!
Looking fancy as always.
Da 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 da.
Cheers to Will. Yeah, podcast. You want a drink?
Will said he'll be our guest on our next podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What up?
Will is wearing a tie.
Will looks great tonight.
Looking good. Looking real good. Good.
All right, listeners, thanks for listening to us this week. We'll be back shortly with another great podcast.
We love you. Do 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 do.
Cheers.